And you can go live anytime. Live?
Yes.
Okay, for again, an announcement, the Oxford Legion is hosting an Easter morning breakfast from 8 to 12. Pancakes, sausages, eggs, toast, jam, raspberry, coffee, tea, milk, etc. The price is $10 for a full plate, $5 for a half plate. So get out there Easter morning and support your local Legion. Thank you. I'd like to call this meeting to order. First off, I'd like to welcome Jason Hahn. He's our rep with the MGA. He is here to watch our proceedings. First off, you've got a copy of the agenda in front of you. I need a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Councillor Jones, second by Deputy Mayor McDonald. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Everybody's got a copy of the minutes in front of them from our regular meeting, February 28th. Any errors or omissions? No? Okay, you've also got a copy of the March 13th special council meeting. Any errors or omissions? Hearing none, I declare them approved as submitted. Business, alternative voting bylaw. Linda tells me, Ms. Floney. Go ahead, Linda.
Okay, we're gonna defer that to the next meeting. Some new research just came in, so we're just need to put that together tightly. So it'll be the next council meeting, we'll have this presented.
Okay, thank you. I'll ask you to speak a little louder, Linda. We've had some complaints from the public that are watching. They don't hear very well, so
Thank you.
use your outdoor voice, Linda.
Okay.
Next up, policy for public participation and notification requests for approval. Linda?
Thank you, your worship. So, this policy was presented at our COW meeting, the last COW meeting that we had, and it was a request for consideration. So the policy, the public participation program policy is mandated requirement, under the section 204 of the MGA. This policy includes a public participation along with the abutting municipality section that provides notification to the municipality of Cumberland County for all proposals within 200 meters of the municipal boundary for a property that is subject to proposed adoption, revision, and/or amendment of planning documents. While developing the policy, it was noted, it was worked with the planning and development department that we contracted out with the town of Amherst. When we were putting this together, it was discovered that the town council needs to form also a planning advisory committee, which we'll bring up here shortly, a little later down in business. This here policy was talked about at the committee of the whole for consideration, and just looking to see if this is good to adopt for tonight.
Any questions for Linda? Do we have a motion? We have a motion to adopt this policy.
So moved.
Seconder? Okay, moved by Deputy Mayor McDonald, second by Councillor Colburn. All those in favor of adopting this, please raise a hand, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you, everybody. Next up, 2023-24 boards and committees. Well, this will be expired soon, won't it?
Yes.
Anyway, we need counselors for communities and blooms and planning advisory committee, and I'm gonna turn the floor back over to Linda.
Okay, thank you. So Communities in Bloom Committee is a new committee that's come about. Ever since we were awarded the position for town horticulturist, they are gonna need a committee to work with. This committee we used to have here at the town of Oxford at one time. It was very successful at the time. And since I would say COVID and everything seemed to have settled down. So we would like to engage in bringing this forward, and it's recommended to have a counselor or even two would be preferred for Communities in Bloom. So just reaching out to see if there's interest. Any counselors that would like to take part, they would work with the town horticulturist. We do have a couple of members already and hoping to get a few more. And there's ideas of having seedy Saturdays and transplants and plant sales and hanging baskets or discussion, nothing decided. And our community gardens, stuff like that. Now I noticed we do have absence of Councillor Canning, maybe this might be something you want to defer to the next meeting, that maybe she might want to weigh in on that too. Not
Sure, why not?
If,
So you're gonna table the next meeting?
table that one if
Yeah,
no one
next
is
meeting.
volunteering.
Yeah. If she
Okay.
doesn't show up, we'll disappoint her.
Okay, so next up is the planning advisory committee that we just talked about regarding the policy that we just approved there. So we're looking, for this person, a couple of counselors should be on this, and they'll be working with our planning department as well, which, we contract out to zoning development, things like that, within the town boundaries. So we're looking for a couple of counselors.
Well, I would like to sit on that.
I would be interested too.
Okay,
All right. So if, we'll need but before we go further, we did talk about the fire department committee. And, so we put on the committee, but we forgot to mention to officially appoint two counselors. And I believe Councillor Colburn and Deputy Mayor McDonald was interested. So if your names are going forward, we would need council to approve those
Okay.
two names.
so we need a motion to this effect then.
That's correct, because,
I'll make that motion
Mhm.
to appoint for the two committees.
okay,
I'll second that.
Okay, moved by Councillor Jones, second by Councillor McNutt. Any questions? No questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Some of these could change in November.
yeah.
Yeah, some of them probably will change in November, but there we go.
And
Okay, next up, video surveillance policy.
No, the one before that.
Oh,
procurement.
Oh, procurement, pardon me. I'm gonna call on our, financial whiz, Ruth Ann, to, speak on this. So, floor is yours.
Okay.
Do you want me to introduce it a little
Sure.
bit? Yes, okay, we have a procurement policy in place. And in the policy, it does talk about our visas, and that's what we're here for tonight, is to talk about the visas, visa limits, our recommendations for some changes. So I'm gonna let Ruth Ann present these suggestions and let council go from there.
Okay, currently, we have a $12,000 limit on all our visas as a group. And there's 4 visas right now. The fire department has requested to have a visa because there's so many things now that are ordered online. The visa is really necessary to order these items. So, and as well with ourselves, we have run across various times throughout the year with the administration visa coming to the limit. So it's just the admin time going in and checking it and rechecking it and putting some money on it, where it's no different than buying an item. It's approved in the same manner. The visas are reconciled every month. So I know what's being spent on a visa. Everyone has a budget to follow, and they, if it's over budget, then they're told about it. So I see it being no different. Actually, the visa statement comes in sooner than sometimes an invoice is made for something that's been ordered and done. So for smaller items, I really feel we need, a larger visa, limit on, especially the administration. Right now, we have a $5,000 limit. Especially if we go to a conference or something like that, the visa is at the max, so, I would suggest a 7,000 there. Greg, the mayor's visa is at 1,000, but you don't tend to use it a lot. I don't know if you want that increased or not.
I see no purpose for increasing the mayor's visa, and if something ever came up where I had to, then I have my own, but
Yeah,
anyway, I don't see a need for it right now.
and, Public Works right now is at 4,000, and so I would suggest we put them up to 6,000. Recreation's at 2,000, I would suggest we put them up to 3. Recreation in particular orders a lot of stuff off of online. So that would bring our limit from being 12,000 up to 20,000. Oh, and adding the fire department, starting them out with like a $3,000 limit, see how that goes. I know Bruce has had to use his own visa a couple of times this year, and we don't like to get into that
No.
because, you know, that's not.
We're not changing the limits or anything on the policy, so really this is. To me, it's obvious, right, the limits are still the same, like, you still have to do 3/4, you still have to do.
Yes.
This,
Oh, those
all of
ones,
those,
yes.
right,
Yeah.
so to me, this is an obvious thing to do.
But right now in the policy, I believe there is a
It
limit on
states the
it.
breakdown, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
So you're looking for an increase for
On
all
the
the
visa.
departments
Yeah,
as the amount for your initial, visa card, you wanna increase the amount to 20,000.
we're all,
Right, so
Yeah.
that increases, public works from 4,000 to 6,000.
yeah.
You're gonna, the fire department, yeah, that's
Fire department,
$20,000,
yeah.
most spend anyway.
You got a question, Counselor Jones?
That doesn't change, and Crystal, Councilor McNutt did say that there's still procurement policies in place as far as the limits go, and so.
They have a budget, they have to follow their budget.
Right.
They can't.
Yeah, and you still have to get 3 quotes, you still have to get approval from us if you
Less
start
and less
that.
people are taking checks now.
And I think
Checks, yeah.
it's safe and it maybe add to the policy, visas must be reconciled every month.
Yeah,
And then that way you do catch any.
Irregularities.
It might actually already say that.
It
so
might-
how many, and not that I don't, how many people at each, will have a visa, will have access to that visa? Will it be one person, the fire department, one person, public works, and,
Well, I know here we keep the admin visa in one spot, we sign it out.
mhm,
And whoever signs it out takes it, like Kathy go out and buy stamps at the post office.
Right.
Things like that, just makes it, takes a lot of admin time off, like using the visa at the Save Easy instead of reconcile accounts, house accounts with them.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things with the fire department I'd really like to see happen, is I'd like to get rid of those accounts. Because they're a bother for them and they're a bother for us
Right,
to
yeah.
reconcile those accounts every month, where you can do it on a visa just as easy.
Easier.
Any other comments, questions?
If I may.
Yes.
How often do some of the other departments would get to their maximum, I should say?
Well, the recreation hasn't this year, admin has a couple of times, public works has come close a couple of times, but, and I know there's different times where, you know, and more in the future, the way buying things is online, and I just foresee it as being something that has to happen in order for us to get quotes even. And things, yeah.
People don't want checks anymore.
Yeah, to answer your question, I don't know of anyone else who's gone over their limit written, other than the admin, but, yeah.
So why would we bother raising it? No, I mean, other than you people here in the office would go over it frequently, why would we bother raising it if they're not going over the
They're
amount? that they
reaching
did?
the limit.
They're
right
reaching
there.
the limit, and, the fire department would have to add another 3,000 to bring them, to even give them a visa.
Well, I
Unless
can
we
see the
go
fire
forward.
department, because some of the stuff they buy is very, very expensive.
No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even think that reaching the limit, but our public works may not be able to buy it this way because their visa doesn't have a proper limit.
Yeah.
So then you have to try and get a check and it's just a,
or all get, put on the visa at the shop.
Sometimes
Yeah.
we even borrow Jimmy's visa, so we can finish our payment.
Right.
And then it gets
makes
mixed
sense.
up with admin,
Right.
right, it's the wrong department. and-
Everything's more expensive.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Someone like to make a motion to what Ruthann has brought forward?
I'll move that we increase the visa limits as per everything.
I'll second it.
Okay, moved by Councilor McNutt, second by Councilor Black, all those any questions? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Ruthann. I'm looking at next is correspondence. Linda, there's no correspondence.
Number 4 now.
Oh,
Sorry, sorry.
4.5. Jumping the gun. Video surveillance policy, go ahead, Linda.
So this is a policy that's just to consider, it's not to pass tonight, so no motion. There is a draft of the policy in the council package. The policy is for the video surveillance, that we have now installed in our town hall here. The purpose of the video surveillance system is to record video only to identify people being served at the counters in the event of a disagreement or abusive incident, and for security purposes after normal hours in all cases that there's gonna be no audio. This also would, assist in deterring any potential security incidents after normal hours, and it may also serve in complementing our insurance coverage as well. So there is a policy that's drafted in your council package for review, and looking to see if we could adopt at the next council meeting, if council is in agreement with the policy.
Okay,
And if there's any changes, let me know beforehand, and you can look at those.
thank you. Okay, next up is correspondence, and it says nil here, so we will pass that. Number 6 on our agenda tonight is an in-camera session. So we will, as usual, be leaving, Facebook Live, and, we will come back after we're done being in camera. And any motions or whatnot that have to be made, we will do it then. So I need a motion to go in camera. So move. Seconder?
Second.
Okay, moved by Councilor McDonald, seconded by Councilor Black. All those in favor of going in camera? Motion carried. At the time, it's 6:16.